Welcome back, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Gillis, and I am the owner of Regain Health and Balance. I practice the BodyTalk healthcare system, which is a natural healthcare method for transforming physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual health. BodyTalk can be done in my clinic one-on-one in person, but it's equally effective when done remotely. So if you haven't been watching all along, I highly recommend you check out the other videos in this series to learn more and to get a little bit more support. So this is session number 5 of the Corona support sessions. I have been doing these for the past 5 weeks, and for those of you who have been following along this whole time, feel free to go back and re-watch any of the previous sessions. Watch them at your own pace or whenever you feel the need for the extra support. So jumping into the session now. So the first thing that we are addressing is we are balancing you. So we've got environmental vivaxis. So we're balancing you to the people that you live with during this stay home mandate or recommendation. So we are addressing things in your environment having to do with distress and frustration, and we also want to reprogram that to, rather than having that distress and that frustration in some of these environments, we want more harmony. So we want to transmute that distress and that frustration into harmony, which is much more pleasant. So we're linking that to circulation of nerves within the vagus nerves, or within the vagus nerve, excuse me. So the most important function of that vagus nerve is to bring information from the inner organs, such as the gut, the liver, the heart, the lungs, to the brain. So the vagus nerve also helps to regulate heart rate, blood pressure, sweating, digestion, and even speech. So it's very important. So, but we also need to bring in a little bit of acknowledgement to the relationship between your environment and the people that you live with, and just these times, to the role of that vagus nerve and the circulation and all the work that it has to go through in order to have all those processes of the body happen. So the relationship of the people in our lives and how it impacts our body functions and that nerve. So we want to give it some extra love, some extra attention, and just say thank you, thank you, thank you for working so hard for us. So we're going to link that to doing a balance of our subtle sense of touch. So this has to do with your spidey senses, your intuition, and your subtle sense of touch includes being in touch with your gut feelings, and it's a way to access our intuition about life situations. So we have environmental stressors of other people and their opinions and their posts or their discussions or, whatever's out there, and that feeling of them trying to sway you away from what you know in your gut to be true. So we're addressing and letting go of disappointment, hysteria, that over cautiousness or that feeling of needing to be cautious. And we are linking that to a belief system of I should, and this is in quotations, I should trust the experts. And simultaneously, we're addressing a belief system that some of you may feel they are smarter than me and what I feel. And also we are addressing a belief system that they're not smarter than what I feel. Sometimes when your gut is working right, you just know what is the right thing for you and the right thing to do, without having to think it with your brain too much, which, by the way, that brain doesn't really think too much. It just really runs programs. So we're linking that to doing a balance of the arteries and veins as governed by the fire element in Chinese medicine. So what do the arteries and veins do? They deliver nutrients, oxygen, and they recycle the less oxygenated blood back to the heart to be re-energized. And we're linking that to doing a balance to the metal element, and also the same thing, that areas of the body that are governed by the metal element are the lungs and the large intestines. So what do? The lungs take in the oxygen from the air to enrich the blood that feeds the arteries, That helps the veins return. And also the large intestine's role is to dispose of waste from food and our lives and our experiences. So again, we're going to bring in that acknowledgement, that thank you, thank you, thank you of the balance between the fire and the metal elements and those body parts that they govern. So thank you so much, arteries and veins, every single day for what you do to help keep me functioning and alive. Thank you to the lungs and the large intestines for breathing in the air that feeds my body and for eliminating the things that I don't need. We're linking that to doing a permission, or we are doing a permission. And this is a specific permission for the enteric brain. And this permission is, I give my enteric brain permission to make the right choices for me. So you're going to say that out loud, or you're going to think that if you're not in an environment where you're comfortable doing that. I give my enteric brain permission to make the right choices for me. I give my enteric brain permission to make the right choices for me. And to support that permission, we are doing a balance of the qualities of the small intestine and its role in discernment, making choices, choosing right, wrong, and balancing that to the liver qualities having to do with processing all of that information that you take in every single day. We're linking that to doing an emotional release of worry from the diaphragm. Lots and lots of worry all in that diaphragm. And the diaphragm can't let go and process emotions if it's populated with a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't want to leave. So we're helping to encourage that worry to leave from the diaphragm. And to support that, we're doing a balance of the diaphragm to the small intestine to support that. Further, we're doing a balance of the stomach and the belief systems surrounding the stomach having to do with assimilation. So what it appears like is that the stomach is so stressed out that it just doesn't want to take anything else. It doesn't want to process and break down food. It doesn't want to deal with the current life situation. It's just simply had enough. So we're linking that to the pancreas and specifically the delta cells. So the delta cells have to do, their role is the inhibition of insulin and glycogen. And we're going to tap that out. So if you haven't made your way already to a nice, comfortable place where you can sit back, lay back, relax, and take in this session, then I recommend that you pause the video here and make your way to a nice, relaxing place where you can sit back, relax, or lay down. And we are going to tap out here. So nice, slow, deep breaths here. Tapping first over the top of the head, making sure that you are tapping over both the right and the left hemispheres of the brain. Nice, slow, deep breaths, processing these links in this session. Feel free to close your eyes if you want to. I'm doing this for you, so if you just want to sit back and relax, then know that the tapping is being taken care of for you as well. But feel free to tap along if that's something that you'd like to do. Tapping over the heart, anywhere over the sternum, over the area of the heart is fine. You do not have to be too specific in the location. Nice, slow, deep, relaxing breaths. And then tapping over the enteric brain, so that'll be over the navel area. One more nice, slow, deep breath. Beautiful. Okay. So moving on to our next links. So the first thing seems kind of harsh, but it's a subconscious belief system. Maybe for some of you it's conscious as well. They are going to kill us one way or another. They're either going to destroy us physically or they're going to destroy us economically. So both means of destruction, either physical or economic, as well as bringing in the belief systems here for emotional destruction, right? Some of you are having a really hard time dealing with this stay home in place thing. And, you know, it's really mentally having an impact. So that's going to help address that as well. And we're linking that to a belief system that the rich always win. And to support that, we are bringing in a belief system of I am important too. I am important too. And we're linking that to a bunch of links that are coming up, and we are giving it a theme under House 11. So the astrology House 11, that rules the time in our lives where friends, aspirations, beliefs, group consciousness is all really, really important. And the first thing that we are addressing under this House 11 is the planet Mercury. And we are disassociating or kind of neutralizing the energy of Mercury having to do with misinterpretation. So when you hear something that's being said and you misinterpret it, I'm not telling you what I believe one way or the other, but the most recent thing was President Trump talking about injecting disinfectants into the body, right? So if the energy of Mercury is too strong, people are misinterpreting that as to actually physically doing that and not thinking about, on a medical perspective, the treatments that are done to actually do that for people and for people's health. So to support that, we are doing a link of the lungs to the heart. And then on top of that, we are linking to our enteric brains. So those of you who haven't followed me and done any of the other sessions, the enteric brain plays a big role in decision making, planning, organization, and coming up with new ideas. So we want to make sure that that enteric brain is right on top of all of this. So parallel to that, we are doing a balance of all the three brains. So we're linking the head brain to the heart brain to the enteric brain to get them to be more in sync with each other, communicating a little bit better, and making sure that each brain is responsible for their particular roles that they do best. So the job of that they are best made out to work on, that those are the responsibilities that they are in control of. So to support that balance of all three brains, we are addressing body chemistry and the neurotransmitter of acetylcholine. And we are specifically addressing the receptor cells in the vagal nerve, and they're just really, really hypersensitive to this chemical messaging. So it's these messages that are released by the nerve cells to send signals to other cells in the body. So they're just overstimulated and they're hypersensitive, and they're taking too much of the information on than they should, or much more of the information on than they should. And we are addressing and basically we are reminding the body of their job description in communication. And we are also reminding the body of their role in regulating the nervous system. So parallel to that, we are doing a link of the blood to the entire immune system defined by purification. Nice slow deep breaths here. We're going to tap this one out. Nice slow deep relaxing breaths. Tapping over the top of the head. Tapping over the heart. And feel free to do the tapping at your own pace if you are following along. If you just want to sit back and enjoy and take it in, know that I'm doing the tapping for you. And then finally tapping over the enteric brain. Okay, folks, so thank you for joining me. That concludes session number 5 of the Corona support sessions. Again, as I mentioned before, if you need the extra support, feel free to go back, rewatch at your own pace. Watch any episode that you're drawn to. They don't have to be done in any specific order. They're there to support you. And I hope you have a great rest of the week and be well. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.